We got the whole gang back this week for Orange Pod Sports.
Let's go.
Adam is back this week after a week hiatus. Don't know where he went. He got lost in the woods. Came back.
It happens to the best of us.
Lost in the woods of Northwest DC.
They get scary sometimes.
That's true.
I bet they do.
It snowed the other day. Who knows what's going to happen?
So we don't really have much college football to discuss because, it's still like slow kind of bowl season. But we do have.
Hey, there's the fight.
There was the fight today between Tulsa.
That was a good fight. There hasn't been a good fight like that in a while. The last good fight I can think of is that the Kentucky one. The Kansas one. Kansas State, Kansas basketball game at the beginning of the year. That was the first good fight since then.
No, but we're also glancing over a very hot button topic in college football. That is the Mayo Bowl, the Mayo Bowl trophy.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh, it broke. Yes.
Yeah, it broke. It's a pretty cool trophy.
There's just all over the floor of the locker room, and they're all just sitting there like this.
I will say it is the Mayo Bowl. So,
who won? Wisconsin?
Yeah, Wisconsin. Yeah.
It's a pretty legit. I mean, if Wisconsin in it, it's a decently legit bowl.
Wisconsin's like 3-3. I mean, they're not good.
Wisconsin wasn't very good this year,
but they got the name recognition enough.
I mean, if they had name recognition, they would go to a bowl game, Rose Bowl maybe.
Also, who's in the Rose Bowl this year? For the Rose Bowl, Tom.
It's true, and they didn't.
Yeah, because only one team does from the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And
Let's see it.
What it's going to be Alabama. The Rose Bowl is Alabama and Notre Dame this
year. Yes, that is correct. And the Rose Bowl will not be in the Rose Bowl. It'll be
which is a heartbreaking.
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
It'll be in Dallas. We have some bowls tomorrow.
We got the big ones tomorrow.
Cincinnati, Georgia, Auburn, Northwestern, and the two playoff games. And I got to say, I'm interested for only one of those, and that's Cincinnati, Georgia. Other than that,
the other ones are going to be bad.
Yeah, because
I agree with that.
They're all going to be. I'm surprised they're only laying 7.5 on Clemson. Though I guess we should make
Alabama a 20-point favorite.
Alabama is 19.5 point favorite.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
All right.
I mean, Alabama. What they played in the title game a few years ago, and I remember that, and they just whomped them. And Alabama is by far the best team this year.
Yeah, it's not. They need to fix it. Something needs to happen.
Yeah,
I think Tom's theory of we need more teams in the playoff is continuing.
Well, I think I can see 6 teams with 2 first-round buys.
That would make sense.
Alabama and Clemson don't wallop whatever team they have to play, like a Cincinnati or Oregon or what have you.
Yeah,
but it's just. Yeah.
I mean, I people are like 16. 16 is way too much.
Oh, that's way too much.
6 is good.
Yeah. 8.
I think. I remember when they first came out with the 4, and everyone was like immediately was like 4 is not enough.
Yeah.
And they were right. 4 isn't enough. I mean, the thing is that the difference between the 1 seed and the 6 seed is substantial. But there's always going to be those years where the 6 seed, or in this scenario, we're saying what it'd be, who would be playing the 6 seed, the 3 seed. So 3 versus 6. So I mean, 6 seeds will always have their day, because I mean, who's 6 right now?
That would be Oklahoma, who just.
I mean, Oklahoma.
5.
If you tossed Oklahoma out there in a normal year, like.
Oklahoma, I think, could do well. Looking at Oklahoma playing against Florida. I think, they had a bad start. That's what killed them.
Yeah. So I mean, I think, and everything's so geared towards the playoff. Like, what do we don't really, nobody cares about like the other the bowl games anymore.
Yeah,
there's too many.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
There's so many of them. I couldn't tell you. I literally don't think I could tell you 40% of them.
And we talked about this last week. There's like 7 teams with losing records in the bowl game. That's what happens. Brawls are what happens when you let 3 and 4 Mississippi State into a bowl game. They're
The thing is, they actually beat 6-2 Tulsa. They actually ended up winning that game. It doesn't matter. I'm not disproving your point.
But nobody cares that they won. Like, that them winning that game is like meaningless. Absolutely
Like-
meaningless.
Like I understand the business side of it, but if we're gonna make the college football playoffs so important, we're gonna need to include more teams in it
Yeah,
because
like,
that's what everybody plays for. Nobody's playing for the Alamo Bowl. Nobody's playing for the. I mean, the Outback Bowl is actually not that bad, but nobody's playing for that. And
Nobody's playing for like the Fiesta. Fiesta's bigger.
Fiesta's pretty good.
Fiesta was.
But
is-
nobody's playing for the Duke Mayo Bowl.
yeah.
Hey, put some respect on that. Nicest trophy in college sports.
So for our picks for this week, I'm going to assume you guys are both going Clemson, Alabama.
Do we have to pick those? I mean, like, just boring.
Why don't we just do all 6?
All right. I don't care either way. Let me look up the other. four.
Aaron, it puts you right back in a spot where you can come back.
Yes, I was going to fade you guys on Ohio State. I refuse to pick Notre Dame, but
You're gonna pick Ohio State?
I have to. It's not
I
necessarily.
don't think Ohio State has it.
It's not necessarily because I believe they're gonna win. If we weren't like in standings,
The way that we are, yeah, you're gonna just have to go with that with whatever we weren't gonna pick.
yeah.
Did you see what the Florida coach said after the game? It was like the weakest stuff I've ever heard from a coach. It was
What'd he
just
say?
like we could have skipped the bowl. It was like the player we could have picked it. Like we wanted to play, blah blah blah. Just like it was very weak.
Great
Yeah,
explanation.
Dan Mullen's not known for being a great sport, but
All right, so Aaron, let's pick all 6.
all righty.
Those are the big ones. Those are the big ones. Also, still ridiculous that Indiana's not in it. I'm gonna say
In
it.
the New Year 6.
In the New Year's 6, yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's incredibly ridiculous.
And it's not even like they're like in I don't even know what conference, like a Sun Belt school. They're a Big Ten team. Like there's
And they
no
did
reason
well.
to.
They played the best against Ohio State out of any team.
Yeah, there's just no real reason to keep them out.
What is-
Especially like
fun?
what is it, a 3-loss Georgia team?
Yeah.
Like, and especially not in a college football playoff game. It's like
What are you
like I
asking
can see
about?
how I could see how you could put Georgia above Indiana if it was like 4 versus 4 and 5, but like in a New Year's 6 bowl, like come on.
Like
Are
what?
you looking for the other two? I think there's
I'm,
only
I'm
4.
looking for the last one because I had Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame, Cincinnati, Georgia, Oregon, Iowa State, North Carolina, Texas A&M, and
Where's Oregon, Iowa State?
they're the Fiesta Bowl.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. They're on January 2nd.
Yes, so is North Carolina,
Wait.
Texas A&M.
The Cotton
And
Bowl
then
is
Did you get Ole Miss
Cotton Bowl's
versus
always
Indiana, NC State versus Kentucky?
We're not going to do those. Those don't matter. We
That's
can
true.
do for we could do
yeah,
all-
they moved
all-
the Cotton Bowl. They moved the Cotton Bowl to shoot it yesterday.
Yeah, so I guess that was the last one. So we'll pick 5.
Yeah. So we'll pick 5.
All right. So first we'll do the 2 playoff games, Clemson, Ohio State. I'm fading you guys on Ohio State. I'm assuming you're picking Clemson.
It's a bold move. Bold move to assume.
Is that true?
I don't know. Like
You're
they
picking
lost
against
last-
Clemson?
It's tough not to. I think it's too. Yeah, it's too tough. I mean, but
You're picking Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence, is what you're saying.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that Clemson doesn't have the team that it usually does. I don't think they're particularly good this year.
I don't think they're going to beat Bama, but they're going to crush Ohio State.
I don't think they're going to crush Ohio State.
Okay,
What's
pick
the
Ohio
what's
State.
the what's the spread?
It's 7.5. I think it's a
I'd
little.
take Clemson, but Ohio State, if I was betting on them. Actually, I
Alright.
think this is going to be a really good game because last year it was an awesome game.
So you're
Last year it was one of the best college football games all season.
that while that is true, I think
They had Chase Young last year.
yes, they had
That's
Chase
true.
Young,
Chase Young, certified god.
and they had a lot more weapons too.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna take Clemson, but I think it'll still be close.
Tom, you're taking Clemson.
Yes.
All right, Alabama
Not
Notre
close.
Dame spread is 19.5. I can assume again we're all taking Alabama. Notre Dame sucks.
I
think-
have to feel like Notre Dame covers. Like 20
Yeah, I
points
think
is
Notre
so
Dame will
much.
cover too.
I don't think they cover. I say
Probably
Alabama
not.
covers.
I think they will.
I don't know.
I think what'll happen is, you remember last year against LSU Oklahoma, where it was like
Well,
it was like
they like didn't score a
35-0
touchdown in the
at
last
half.
quarter and a half.
Yeah, and they didn't score. Like, I think it'll be kind of a similar game to last year.
Yeah,
with
maybe.
Oklahoma. I mean, no one's gonna put up the lights out numbers like LSU did last year, but yeah, it was 28-63, and yeah, Alabama. I mean, LSU scored 14 points in the second half.
After watching Clemson absolutely roll Notre Dame, and I believe Alabama's better than Clemson, I'm hard pressed to believe that Notre Dame is going to cover. So,
That's fair.
That's fair.
I mean, Notre Dame's gonna have trouble scoring.
Cincinnati, Georgia in the Peach Bowl. Georgia is favored by 7.
It's in
I-
Atlanta. I'm going Georgia.
I think I'm gonna take Cincinnati. I think
Adams train, and I'm taking.
I think it's like a UCF like vibe when they like played at Auburn,
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
and they're gonna show something, and everyone's gonna be like, maybe they should have been in the playoff.
Yeah, maybe they should have been at least ranked higher than. Well, no, I can't say that anymore because Oklahoma.
Then Iowa State. Were you gonna talk about Iowa State?
They're already ranked higher than Iowa.
Did you guys talk about last week on how Aaron had an all-time bad beat with going 0 for 2 on
No,
two
that
teams?
wasn't a bad beat. That was his own fault. Bad
Yeah,
beat
because
is
I
when
had-
something miraculous.
I had
That was-
to fade you guys somewhere, and I figured if I'm gonna try and go for fade you guys somewhere, I might as well go for the lead, and I lost.
It was a blunder.
That was a terrible pick.
Notre Dame.
terrible.
Notre Dame for me, from that traumatizing experience, has become like the Falcons, where I just will never pick them ever.
That's fair.
So Oregon, Iowa State, in the Fiesta Bowl, Iowa State is the 4-point favorite. I'm going to take the Cyclones.
I'm gonna take Oregon. I think Oregon showed a lot against USC. I think it's one of those where they've got a lot of momentum, and Iowa State has no momentum. So I'm gonna say Oregon.
Yeah, I'm going with Tom for all the same reasons, actually.
I was Adam, you missed it last week. We were Tom and I talked about how pissed Noah must have been that
Oh,
the team he hates the most subbed in for Washington and won.
I like how they're like, yeah, Oregon could just go ahead. Like, who cares?
Yeah. They're like, and the Washington coach is like, they deserve to be Pac-12 champs. Like, no, they went
no.
2. I don't know. But
But they have the Fiesta Bowl. Like, that's such a good bowl for what they got.
Yeah, they shouldn't have got it over like Indiana.
yeah, they got
Well, it's the contracts of the bowls that like lock
true.
in who can play where.
That's
And
true.
it's just such a shame. Like, that's why Army wasn't in a bowl until the very last second when Tennessee, with like 3 wins all year, was
And,
like,
like,
oh, we
meaning-
can't do it.
Yeah. I do think that, like, I like some of the contract bowl matchups. Like, I will always enjoy the Rose Bowl, the Big Ten
Oh, yeah.
ball
You got
matchup.
it.
But like Fiesta Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, like they're all just kind of like meh. Like I'm not a big fan of like big.
I mean,
bowls.
they're played in stadiums that you see like all the time.
yeah.
There's something about Pasadena. My dad used to he was in the Rose Parade a bunch of times because he used to live near Pasadena, and it's just like, it's just so nice. It just looks awesome. The stadium is beautiful, and then there's just so many historic games.
Yeah, but then it's like, playing in AT&T Stadium. I watch that every Sunday. Who cares? Yeah.
Who cares?
North Carolina, Texas in the Orange Bowl. The Aggies are favored by 7. I am taking Texas A&M. You are bugging if I think Texas A&M.
Oh, Texas A&M. You got to say A&M. You can't just say Texas because 2 very different teams.
Yep. And
Did I say Texas?
yeah, you did.
Oh, okay, Texas A&M. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think that's right, but if it was right, I would pick North Carolina all
I
day.
actually disagree with that. I think I would pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I might take the Longhorns over the
roll
Tar Heels.
Colorado.
But definitely Texas A&M over the Tar Heels.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our college football picks for the week. Now for the all
Wait,
important.
can I say something real quick? I have important news.
Yeah,
Not
go ahead.
really. Just Wizards. No, it's not that important. But Wizards are again on the they've got a pretty good chance of losing to a really bad Bulls team. They're up 3, and Russell Westbrook is at pace to get a triple double.
There
So
you go.
if
Fair.
he gets a 4th triple double while the Wizards drop to 0-5, I would find that very fun. Let's carry on.
Are we going NBA talk?
No, that was my NBA
Yeah,
talk.
Okay, but I have legitimate things to say about the NBA, and for our NBA audience, people
All right.
might want to hear about it.
you can, I'm gonna sit this one out. You can go ahead.
Do we have an NBA audience?
Yeah, we have an NBA audience for sure. Brian Cooney listens. There you go. NBA audience. Okay. Anyway, I'll start off with the obvious. Lakers championship ring, so cool. It is so unbelievably cool. It is the coolest ring I've ever seen.
This is not legitimate NBA talk. This is just talking about how a ring.
No. That was just my first point.
You might as well be the Today Show, Sanine.
And then my second point was LaMelo Ball is the most streaky player I've ever seen in my life. But is
you thought LaMelo Ball was going to be good, dude.
Who doesn't think LaMelo Ball is going to be good?
0 points in his NBA debut.
How many points did Will Shearer have in his varsity debut?
Very different scenario.
It's exactly the same. Yeah, because the NBA is way harder. Boom, gotcha.
Also because LaMelo Ball was a lottery pick.
That's true. But Will Shearer, also a lottery pick for Amherst.
First lottery pick that come from Amherst.
And then
hey, he's trying to go a Duncan Robinson route.
Did you guys see the Anthony Edwards interview?
No.
He was interviewing with one of the local media, and he was talking to them about how great of an athlete he is, and he just continued to tell the reporter that he could play any sport at an extremely high level, and I was like, I kind of.
Oh my god, he's asking to leave the NBA. He's like Kyler Murray. He's like I could do other things.
He's like when it came out during his draft profile that he was his favorite sport was football all along. He was like, dude, you're gonna be the number 1 pick in basketball. Like, you can't just say that you like basketball. It was the most ridiculous. And also, if the playoffs started today, the Bucks wouldn't be in it.
Okay, that's dumb.
Magic are in first in the East. They're terrible. Did you see Markelle Fultz got like a 3-year, $50 million extension? And I was shocked.
The contracts in the NBA are so ridiculous.
They are ridiculous.
I want to talk about them.
They are ridiculous, but still, like, it's insane. 3 years, $50 million. He's not. I mean, he's been playing a lot better. I'll give him that, which has been good to see because, like, I almost felt bad for him. And if he's good in the NBA, then it's like, oh, I got to see him in high school, and that's like a cool little tidbit. So, do we have any more NBA talk?
Please no.
I don't have
it. Is that all we got?
That might be all we got.
All right, we got all that. Those were the breaking news for.
I don't think that was breaking.
Breaking ideas.
All right. So it's week 17. I am super excited for it. It's always probably the best week of football. We have I always look forward to when the schedule comes out because it tells you which games the NFL thinks are important. They usually put the really meaningful ones at 4:00. The 1:00 slate is Miami, Buffalo, Baltimore, Cincy, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Minnesota, Detroit, Jets, New England, Dallas versus the Giants, and Atlanta at Tampa. The only real interesting game there are the Bills, Dolphins, and Steelers, Browns.
Dallas. Dallas Giants. The Dallas Giants game isn't gonna be. It doesn't mean anything.
I forgot. I'm very sorry.
No, you're right. It is an insignificant game.
I saw the losing records. I was like, but you're right. I don't know.
It's an insignificant game. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Then the 4:00 games are New Orleans, Carolina, Green Bay, Chicago, Jacksonville, Indy, Tennessee, Houston, Chargers, Chiefs, Vegas, Denver, Arizona versus the Rams, which should be an interesting one. Seattle, San Fran, and Sunday night, you guys got the prime time
God.
set.
Oh my God.
Why are they put? Why? Ah, God, it's like it's just like raking at me over the coals for like hours. So bad.
It's living rent free in my mind.
So since
Ever since I saw that, I was like, we're not gonna win, and then they announced it in like the fourth quarter. They're like, Eagles, Washington football team, Sunday night, and I was like, oh my God, no.
So since you guys are in the more pressing situation, we'll go over the NFC playoff picture first.
You gonna share your screen?
I can.
Are we doing playoff machine? It's easy now with just 1 week.
Could do the playoff machine, but I don't want to do it with the picks because it's still a tedious process.
Yeah,
That's true.
Playoff picture, and sorry, I'm just Googling it. I wasn't expecting to share my screen, but all right.
closing a bunch of tabs.
Don't expose me, bro. Here we have it.
You would never.
Yep.
So in the NFC, you have Packers at 12-3 for the 1 seed, Saints in the 2 seed at 11-4. Seattle is the 3 seed at 11-4. Washington football team here, 6-9 in the 4 seed. Tampa, the 5 seed at 10-5. Rams, the 6 seed at 9-6, and the Bears at the 7 seed, 8-7. And the 1 team, or the 3 teams left in the picture, are Arizona, Dallas, and the New York Giants. I find the NFC East very interesting because theoretically, if Washington loses and the Giants win, we get a 6-10 playoff team. That's bonkers. I thought it was happen, but that was before everyone started to heat up in the NFC East. That's bonkers.
I don't know. It's not going to happen. Don't worry. It's not happening.
7-9.
So
7-9.
With different scenarios in the NFC, so the top seed, all the Packers have to do obviously is win. I believe the way it goes is if Seattle wins and New Orleans wins and the Packers lose, New Orleans gets the 1.
Yep.
And then obviously if New Orleans loses, Seahawks win, Packers win. I think it's Seattle who gets the 1.
No, it's Packers lose, Saints lose, Seahawks win.
You're right. And now for the wild card, this gets interesting because we could also have an 8-8 wild card team in the NFC. If the
With
Rams,
the Bears?
Yep. If the Rams somehow pull off an upset with John Wolford over the Cardinals, and regardless of what the Bears do, the Bears are in. So all the Bears need is a Rams win and they're in. The Rams need a Bears loss if they lose to get in. So funny how that twist of fate kind of intertwines there. Bears get the 12-3 Packers, and the Rams with John Wolford get a 8-7 Cardinals team who is playing a win and you're in.
I think the Cardinals, though, Kyler's playing, but he looked really hurt at the last play.
Yeah.
I saw some people like, oh, if there's 30 seconds left, he gets right back up and like goes downfield. If that's like dropped or whatever. But at the same time, he did not look good after that throw. So I definitely have my doubts about him. I think interesting in the AFC is the Titans could not make it.
Yeah, we'll get to the AFC in a second.
There could be, I think, isn't it like we're getting to the NFC.
Yeah, we'll get to the AFC in a second.
I mean, it's crunch time.
It is.
I mean, one division is not like the other.
My brother is like he wants Jared Goff gone. Like he hates Jared Goff.
Well, no Jared Goff this week.
Like, yeah.
Is that confirmed?
That is confirmed.
Yeah.
He had surgery on his thumb. He's like, we're sitting here in the basement watching the Rams game, and he's like, get someone else in there. Like I'm tired of this. And I'm like John Wolford's not a better option, bro. Like you guys don't have a better option. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And he's like, no, it can't be worse than this. I was like, oh, I think it could.
Hey,
I saw
said that about
Dwayne
Trevor
Haskins.
Heineke.
Yeah, I saw Dwayne
Yeah,
Haskins
We
for
got
the
to talk
Rams.
about
Maybe.
that. Dwayne Haskins was cut this week.
Thank God.
Goodbye and good riddance.
I think that might be the quickest the team has ever like given up on a first round pick. And I'm not saying they were wrong to do it. I think it's actually going to be beneficial.
Yeah, like I think Manziel, a few others were cut after 2 years, but none were cut 1 year and 16 weeks. Like nobody gets cut that early.
Yeah,
I don't know how you like can call yourself a professional and do the things that he does.
Yeah.
Your coach, who has literally given you every opportunity in the world, just survived chemotherapy. And then you're going to go, oh, I don't care about that. I don't care about the rules that have been put in place for this season. And I'm just going to go to strip clubs. Like, it's pathetic. It gets me so mad.
Now,
I can't believe I even thought about getting a Haskins jersey when he was drafted. Thank God I didn't waste my money on that.
Joe Theismann gave him his jersey number.
Apparently, he hasn't returned a Joe Theismann call all year. Like he was like, "Oh, I'd love to give you my jersey number. Let's stay in touch so I can like help you through this." Blah blah blah. And he was like, "Yeah, no." He was just like, "Nope, screw you." Didn't return his call.
And it kind of be one thing if he was playing well and he was like, and he was thrown for 300 yards, blah blah blah. But he's going like 12 of 6. Like he got benched for Taylor Heineke.
He should have been benched. He should have been benched like in the second quarter of that game.
It was so bad.
That's my issue with Rivera is if we had taken him out in the second quarter, I think we would have won. Like I don't think there's like no doubt in my mind we would have won that game.
Taylor Heineke was lighting it up.
Haskins went 14 out of 28 for 154, 2 interceptions, and he lost a fumble for a rating of 36.9.
The last drive of the first half, I was like, he was like he was throwing the ball, like almost had a pick, and I was like, please just kneel it out. He's gonna throw a pick. Next play, throws a pick to end the half. It's like, it's just unimaginable. He's unimaginably bad. In the NFL, you can be problematic or you can be bad, and you can't be both.
Right.
Like if you're truly problematic but really, really good, a team will keep you around.
Yeah.
But
like Dennis Rodman in the NBA.
Or if you're bad, especially in a quarterback, if you're bad and don't have any issues, you can be a backup quarterback anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they always need bodies. But
Right.
if you're both, nobody wants you. Nobody wants a backup quarterback who doesn't care.
It literally just feels like he doesn't care about anything.
Like he got outplayed. The first overall pick, or the first round pick last year, for Washington, got outplayed by an undrafted free agent who is currently finishing his degree at Old Dominion for advanced math. Like what?
He's continuing his degree. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either.
Apparently, he had just taken like a final or something like the week before. But
he knows the offense better, and he's literally like studying for an advanced degree, like a degree in mathematics.
Yeah,
like
that's insane.
I mean, people were saying it might be one of the worst draft picks in NFL history, and I'm starting to believe it.
Yeah, he's horrible. And there was one thing where it was I saw this one post where some CBS writer put like quarterback improvements, and it was like not happening with Dwayne Haskins, and he commented on it. He's like noted. Like it was back in like March.
The league done messed up.
The league messed up. No, I think you done messed up.
You done messed up.
And I know our offense isn't good, but when you play like that, like Alex Smith looks 3 times as good back there than you do.
He makes Alex Smith look good, which Alex Smith has not played well by any stretch of imagination, but Alex Smith does not lose games.
Yeah. I think truthfully, I think you guys are kind of screwed if he can't play.
Yeah. I think Heineke was kind of a flash in the pan, like completely like buzzing
every
with
that
adrenaline.
happened to almost every offense except for the Patriots, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But like if you sub in a guy, they're gonna do well. So it should be an exciting game between a 6-9 and a 5-10 team, and then a 4-10-1 and a 6-9 team.
Very funny that the Eagles, the only team without really major injuries hurting them the entire year, are the one team out of the playoffs on week 17.
Yeah,
like makes me happy.
They are bad. So what we'll get to the Jalen Hurts hype train when we talk about the Washington game, and as the finale to this episode. But going to the AFC, the Chiefs are the one at 14-1. Buffalo is the 2 at 12-3 after throttling the Patriots and being the first team to sweep them since 2000.
We get it.
That was a good game. That was impressive.
Steelers are the 3 at 12-3. Titans are the 4 at 10-5. Dolphins are the 5 at 10-5. Ravens are the 6 at 10-5. Browns are the 7 at 10-5, and the Colts are in the 8 seed at 10-5. Now
it's tight.
It's very tight. Now it's the opposite kind of tight that the NFC is. Not tight by circumstance, tight by like teams playing well. So before I get into the Bills and Chiefs, I want to talk about the wild.
You could go 11-5 and not make it.
Yeah. So the Colts could theoretically go 11-5 and miss the playoffs if Miami, Baltimore, and the Cleveland win. My dad, we were downstairs watching the Cleveland or the Oakland Vegas Miami game, and he's like, why aren't they going for the touchdown? Like, why aren't they closing it out? He's like, I guarantee this comes back to bite them, to hurt them. Like, and what do you know? The very next possession, they give up, what was it, a face mask penalty and the completion, right?
Yeah. So that's it was like a 20-yard completion. So it was like a 35-yard play.
Yeah. And he was like that. He's like, they deserve to lose that game because they screwed that up so badly by just going for the field goal. I hate to say I agree with you, but it sucks how lucky Miami got because Tua played like crap.
But Fitzpatrick yet again goes in. Like
they trust Tua until they have to win.
And they're going to have to trust Tua even this weekend.
Yeah, there's no like safety net for the Dolphins this week.
Yeah, depends on how much the Bills play their starters. I hope they play the starters the whole way through because one, I'd really, really like to keep Miami out, and two, I think that
Steelers might beat the Browns.
Might knock off the Browns, even with Mason Rudolph, who, as terrible as he is, I will never believe the Browns can beat the Steelers until it happens. However, I think I'm going to pick the Browns this week. Spoiler, but my dad also picked the Jets to upset the Browns. Before the game, he said, or all week he was saying, the Browns don't look good. Like I think the Jets could beat the Browns. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they came out and handled the Browns.
The Browns did have four wide receivers
out.
Yeah, right. Obviously. And that's a big reason as to why the Jets won. But Baker's got to hang on to the ball. Two fumbles and on the very last play. And to his credit, he took credit for it. Or he took the blame for it. But now the Browns could miss the playoffs if they're the only one who lose. And
things are getting crazy in the AFC.
They're getting crispy.
So in the scenario, we'll talk about the scenario where each team can miss the playoffs. So first, the Titans would have to lose to Houston, and Indy, Cleveland, Baltimore, and Miami all win. The four of them have to win. Miami has to lose.
Isn't that just pretty much the situation for most teams?
That actually is the situation for all of the teams. Colts, who they could win and everyone else could win, and the Colts are out. But
what if two teams lose? I don't know.
I think so. If two teams lose, I think the Browns have the edge over the Dolphins,
Okay.
but the Ravens have the edge over the Browns. So the Ravens aren't losing to Cincy. But if the Ravens and Browns were to both lose, the Ravens would get in. If the Ravens and Dolphins were to both lose, Ravens get in. If actually, let me double check that. We're gonna do it.
Nice caps lock.
I think if the Browns lose, they're out. No matter what.
Yeah. So don't care. Actually, I'll say Chargers win. Doesn't matter. Don't care.
Wow, for a sports show, you really don't care.
Yeah, I know.
That's safe.
I'm saying we don't care for these specific games. So
I know.
So Baltimore wins, Tennessee wins, Indy wins. So those are three like pretty surefire, or so we think, wins. Say the Dolphins lose to the Bills and the Browns lose to the Steelers, the Browns are the ones who are out. If the Browns win and Miami wins, so they're all 11-5, Colts are out. Now, if the Ravens lose,
This is some crazy math.
I know.
And the Dolphins lose, Miami gets the edge on Baltimore. Fun with the playoff machine. Now, if they all lose,
I like the if they all lose game. That's a fun game.
and if they all lose, Indy's out. If they all win or they all lose, Indy's
It's
out.
it's like on Canvas. You have to put in your best case, your worst case, and then your realistic. You gotta check all the options.
That's true.
Yeah. So then I think we went through all the scenarios. Yeah, Baltimore wins.
Yeah.
So now up to the 1-2. Kansas City is obviously clinched, and Buffalo is red hot behind them. Can't catch them. They're red hot. They're hosting fans for the playoff games. 6,700. Any number will do at that point. But so I did a little digging today. I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted it on Twitter, but so I did a little digging today because I had read that the Chiefs' last 7 games had finished within a margin of 6, margin of victory 6 or less. So the Chiefs' margin of victory over their last 7 games is 27 combined points.
Oh, I did see this.
Doesn't matter.
So over 7 games, they're winning by about 4 points.
Aaron, can I just say big issue with this?
Hold on. I have to finish the stat. You have to let me finish the stat.
We all know the stat is gonna be something ridiculous.
And the Bills' margin of victory in that same time span is 70 more points, 97 points. So that over 7 games, they're winning by about 2 touchdowns. And the Chiefs' opponent's record in that time span, 7-week span, is 52-60. And Buffalo's is 54-58. So I think my theory is the Bills right now are the better football team. When they come head-to-head again, if they come head-to-head again, there will be a chance to prove that theory, obviously.
I don't think the Bills have no chance. My issue with your whole record thing is it was the Chiefs have you're both facing teams under 500 was the record thing. So in reality, it doesn't matter that much.
And in reality, when you're a champion, it is incredibly boring to play these regular season games, and nobody cares.
This is from champion Adam Sanine.
Yeah. From world champion Adam Sanine.
Sure.
These games are after you do that, right after you win something like that, these games do not matter. They're just trying to leave the stadium with the win and then keep going.
Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes doesn't look good. He if you look
He
at
can look.
last 7
Aaron,
games,
he's the best quarterback in the league. He can look good.
I understand that. He doesn't look good right now, but if you look at his stats over the last 7 games,
It doesn't matter. They just want to leave the building with the win. Nobody
They're just trying to
cares.
not get hurt right now.
Yeah, it's like when the the Warriors went 73-9. They blew everything on getting the regular season title. They were exhausted in the playoffs and they lost. And then
18-0 Patriots lost to like the
there's no there's and then they got KD. They got better.
Thing is, that's kind of, I understand the point you're trying to make, but also that doesn't prove anything because the Chiefs could go 15-1 and still lose.
I agree. No, I'm not saying they won't.
So I'm saying right now, I don't think Kansas City is better than Buffalo.
I think they're two very good teams.
There you go.
I do not think that one is much better than the other. I'll agree with that. I think, can I just say one thing before we go into the picks?
Yes.
The Wizards lost and Russell Westbrook averaged another triple-double.
There we go. Boom. NBA talk
Boom.
for our listeners. Our rabid.
Nothing I love more than that. But okay, let's get to picks.
So, game picks.
Oh,
one
wait.
is,
Did we do the Nats news?
Josh Bell.
Yeah, we got Josh Bell.
My brother,
Josh Bell.
as a Pirates fan, is very, very mad.
He should be because we fleeced them. We gave him two terrible pitching prospects that are both old. Or Will Crow is kind of old. He's like 25, so I don't really expect him to be anything. And I can't remember who the other one was, but I wasn't very excited about either. So it's a great deal.
Wait,
can we talk about how your brother is a Pittsburgh fan? Like, make up his mind over who he likes. What teams does he like? It seems like it's all over the place.
It's like the Pirates, the Rams,
the Rams, the Thunder, and he doesn't really pay attention to hockey, but I think it's the Penguins.
That's like literally like in 2011, he was like looking for teams to root for, and he was like, "I'll do these four."
Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as you say you're a fan of the Thunder, and it was like, oh, okay, so you're about 10 years old when Kevin Durant was on the team.
He's always liked Westbrook better. I think he's more of a Westbrook fan than he is a Thunder fan. But
Can you point out that Russell Westbrook is 0-4 with 4 triple doubles, please?
He will not let me finish any Russell Westbrook slander. It does not get done. It does.
It's got to be said.
Simply does not get done because he's like, his teammates said they love him and he's a great leader. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, fine. I don't.
Because he'll kill them if they don't.
Yeah, and like he's not like he doesn't contribute to winning championships. So that's whatever.
It's true. All right, picks time.
Picks time. Miami at Buffalo. Buffalo is favored by 3. I'm gonna take the Bills, even if they don't play their starters.
So do we not know if they're playing starters or not for the Bills?
Will not reveal anything till Sunday.
I don't like that when making picks. I think due to the fact that the Steelers are playing at the same time, they're going to play the starters. So I'm going to say Bills.
I'm going to go Dolphins. I think they're not going to play their starters. Ben Roethlisberger's not playing, so I think Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is kind of injury prone to begin with, so
yeah.
You're going to trust Tua in northern New York?
It's supposed to.
I'm going to.
It's supposed to snow.
I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. It's happening.
It does not stand a chance. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Baltimore favored by 12.
Baltimore. Next.
Baltimore.
Baltimore's getting hot.
Yeah. Baltimore is becoming an interesting team every week.
Yeah, they're starting. I think I'm not scared of anyone, but I think if I were a fan of any other team aside from the Chiefs, I would not want to see them.
Aaron is scared of no one, but if he was scared of someone, he'd be afraid of Baltimore.
Correct.
Or the Washington football team.
No, they're no longer hot. There's no reason to be scared of them.
Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Cleveland is favored by 10. I say Pittsburgh covers, but Cleveland wins.
Yeah, 10 is a lot, but I don't think Mason Rudolph can beat the Browns. I just don't think he can. And I think maybe what's his name will try to finish the job, and I think that'll be that.
What's his name, Tom?
The Browns lineman, the defensive lineman. Myles Garrett is going to finish the job.
I forgot the name.
There you go, Tom.
Best edge rushers in the league.
I blanked on it. I knew it was Miles Garrett. He's gonna finish the job.
This is some sports show we got going on here. I don't
Yeah.
care. Adam doesn't show up. Tom forgets Miles Garrett's name. We got some trio we got going on here.
There we go.
Elite.
Yeah, I'm
It's gonna be
taking
40
the
degrees and
Browns.
cloudy there, just so you know.
What'd you say?
It's gonna be 40 degrees and cloudy there, just so you know.
You're in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay. Minnesota at Detroit. Minnesota is favored by 6.5. Who cares? Minnesota. Play for Dallas.
Right.
Father, rest in peace.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Minnesota.
I'm going Minnesota as well.
How can I not really?
Yeah.
Skull?
What after the
Skull.
Skull 7-9 to the playoffs?
Tom, get the second hand in.
Yeah, if you want to see me throw up on air, yes, I will do that.
Jets at New England. New England is favored by 3.5. I am going to be spicy and take the Jets.
You're gonna pick the Jets against the Patriots
I'm
in Gillette?
because they're going to start Jared Stidham. Like
Okay, but
I feel better about Jared Stidham than Cam Newton.
that's just not true from at least the way I see it. Like Jared Stidham was just as horrible as Cam was on Monday.
he
night.
was last game. Earlier in the season, Stidham was better.
We all agreed that the Jets would go 0-16. We thought that it would happen. But Aaron and I have both selected the Jets to win a game this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually keep some integrity and not pick the Jets to win. That's integrity, guys. Ever heard of it?
I should be a little more careful than I'm being, because you guys gained
We're
significant.
creeping up.
Tom was 7 games back and Adam was 10 last week. The standings this week: Tom is 5, Adam is 7.
I had a good week last week.
Yeah, you had the best week out of all of us.
Aaron had a really bad week last week. How did you do that bad?
Let's see. It started with Arizona losing, and then the Raiders lost, and then the Browns lost.
Well, the Browns lost for all of us.
Colts absolutely crapped themselves. Drew Lock was terrible. Washington
Drew Lock. Did you pick? Who did the Broncos play?
Chargers.
You picked the Drew Lock is terrible.
Then Washington proceeded to crap themselves. Jared Goff proceeded to crap himself. It was just,
Aaron, what'd you go last week?
I went. Let's see. I went 1, 2, 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 3-3, 3-4, 4-4, 5-4, 5-6, 5-7, 5-8, 6-8, 7-8. Wait, no. Want to know? I'm sorry.
No,
I counted one game wrong.
Good Lord, Aaron. All right, not good. There we go. Next
Not
game.
good, yeah.
Oh, I'm taking the Pats.
Figured.
Patch. Yeah.
So the next one is Dallas at New York. The Giants. Dallas is favored by 2.5. I am taking Dallas. I am taking the Giants right now.
There was a point this year when I was like, the Giants are gonna like win the rest of their games and also win the NFC East for the next 5 years. But something changed in the Giants and they no longer wanted to do that. So I am a little torn. I'm gonna go Giants. I think the Giants have been better this year.
I'm taking the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are low key kind of hot right now.
They
so
are.
I'm gonna
The
take
Cowboys' only injury was to Dak.
Andy
Basically.
Dalton, 17 Magic. Can he strike again?
Hopefully not. I mean, it doesn't really matter for us. We just need to get our job done.
Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored by 6.5. Never picked the Falcons. I'm going Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
Aaron has all these hard and fast rules and then doesn't go with them because he has picked Atlanta numerous times this season.
Have I?
Yeah,
You never said he was smart.
that's true.
Hey,
All right, I'm going Bucks.
let's be nice. I'm gonna fact check you on that and see how many times I picked Atlanta.
I bet you've picked him more than 3 times.
Where is it? Okay, 1. Okay. Still 1. Still 1. Yeah, still 1. 2. I really hope you're wrong. Still 2. I actually picked the Lions over them 1 week, so I think I deserve some credit for that. 2. Let's see. Yes, only 2.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry guys for holding up, but I had to prove my point.
There you go.
You did have to prove your point. I'm glad you did that, Aaron.
I'm so glad I did that too. New Orleans at Carolina. New Orleans favored by 6.5. I'm going New Orleans.
New Orleans. It's a must-win game for New Orleans.
Yeah. Green Bay at Chicago. This one should be interesting. Green Bay favored by 5.5 on the road. I'm going Green Bay. They absolutely rolled the Titans.
Yeah, Green Bay is really good. They've proven that. They've finally like beaten a good team at home, and I think like that'll show something. So I'm going Green Bay.
Oh my gosh, the Packers game last week was quite a game. That was the Packers' biggest game of the season. And
well, yeah, because they hadn't played anyone.
I mean, that's true, but at no point were they were in control the entire game. I mean, Tractor Cedo season was in full effect, and he couldn't get it going.
Yeah, I thought the Packers defense was pretty bad. So
but they stood up and stopped Tennessee when they had to.
Yeah.
And then AJ Dillon, oh my God. Dude is a certified stud. If they pay Aaron Jones a dime in the offseason.
Oh, it would be stupid too.
It would be
You never pay a running back.
Yeah.
AJ Dillon, Boston College grad, I might add. Unbelievably good. Unbelievable.
Yes,
He had a great game. He's not a great pass catcher, but I don't really think. I mean, they have Jamal Williams to do that. I mean, there is no reason they do not need Aaron Jones.
So you're going Green Bay. I'm going to 100% take a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
All right. Figured. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Indy is favored by 14.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Are they letting Gardner Minshew play?
I don't know. How funny?
I feel like they have to let Gardner Minshew play now with
Play for a backup spot.
That and also just with him with the first round pick locked up.
Now,
I think they think Glennon's worse, so they're playing him.
Now, my thing is, how funny would it be if Indianapolis were to go 10-6, and 2 of those losses came to the 2-14 Jaguars?
That would be funny. I would enjoy that. That should happen.
Effectively funny. Adam,
yeah, I'm going Colts. I mean, I'd like to see Colts are just not a team you can get excited about, but
how can
they win games? They win ugly, and I think they'll get it done.
How can you not get excited about 38-year-old Phillip Rivers throwing?
It's just not something I do.
Exceptions.
Hey, Phillip Rivers might actually go to the playoffs for the first time in a really long time. So
since 2018, yeah.
Oh yeah, and he won a game, didn't he?
He did. He beat the Ravens. Lamar Jackson.
Well, that could actually happen.
Good.
Could they play the Ravens first round this year? I think they could.
Well, they could
in the Super.
In the Super Bowl,
play first round, but it would take some wild. Actually, no, it wouldn't, because the Ravens could end up the 5, and the Colts could end up the 4 if all goes right.
Oh yeah, it's definitely possible. That would be funny if Phillip Rivers knocks Lamar Jackson out of the playoffs again. That'd be funny.
Tennessee at Houston. Tennessee is favored by 7.5. I am going to say that J.J. Watt's post-game speech last week, fires up Houston, and Houston steals one from Tennessee, giving the Colts the division.
Maybe. I think that definitely, the speech definitely is like, hey guys, actually try or get out, or really actually try or I'm going to get out.
Yeah.
I just can't pick the Texans though. I got to go Titans.
Me too. I think Derrick Henry will just run too much for him.
Chiefs at Chargers at Chiefs. Chargers are favored by 3.5 as Kansas City are playing their backups. I'm going
That's
to
still
go
a lot.
Chargers.
The 3.5 is still a lot for it being at Arrowhead and it still being the Chargers. I'm gonna go Chiefs, but I want to go the Chargers.
I'm riding with Aaron here. Chargers.
All right. Vegas at Denver. Who cares? Raiders are favored by 2. I'm going Raiders because Drew Lock sucks.
Yep, I'm going Raiders too.
Yeah, Raiders.
Arizona at Los Angeles Rams. Cardinals are favored by 3 on the road. I have seen nothing from John Walford that at all to begin with, but nothing to trust him to win this game for the Rams. I think it'll be close because Kyler's kind of hurt, and the Rams defense is very good. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals, but I think it'll be a push.
I'm going Rams. Oh, sorry, Tom. Yeah, I'm going Rams.
I'm going to go Cardinals.
So Adam goes Rams. Tom goes Cardinals.
I just think, I agree. I don't think Walford can get it done. I don't know. I just think Cardinals have they can get it. They have just enough to get it done, basically. I don't think they're that impressive, but they have just enough to get it done.
That's probably true, but I just got to take the Rams here. Just a squad.
Seattle, San Francisco. Seattle favored by 6 on the road. Hard to believe San Francisco can win 2 games against an NFC West opponent in a row. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yep, Seahawks all the way.
Yeah, 49ers are not good.
Spell there.
And the final game, Washington at Philadelphia.
I don't even want this game to happen.
Washington is favored by 1.5.
Too much.
I am picking Philadelphia because one, we don't have the Washington and you guys pick against the mojo going anymore.
Yes, we do. It works.
That died with
it
Seattle.
Still works. All right, that's Seattle.
It almost lived with Seattle.
Yeah, it almost did.
But we don't have Dwayne Haskins anymore.
And I'm not sacrificing myself again for you guys.
Sacrifice yourself. We would do it for you, Aaron.
Selfish.
Do it for me. Get out of here. So I would actually pick Washington if I was confident Alex Smith was playing.
And probably no Terry either.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing.
So it's going that's the reason I'm going Philadelphia.
Tommy, you're me.
You.
I am also going Philadelphia. I have to I'm gonna cut my losses, and if the Eagles win, at least I picked them right. And
you're hedging your bets.
I am hedging my bets. It's gonna be one of the sports games in a long time that I've been thinking about, and that
you're dreading it.
I'm nervous to watch.
The whole country is going to see it, for better or for worse.
The thing is, I was going to ask on a scale of 1 to 10 how nervous you guys are, but I can tell you're pretty high up on the scale. The thing is, it'd be one thing if you had to only wait till 4:00 to watch the game be played. You have to wait all day and watch everything play out, and then ride the emotional roller coaster. And either go to bed very happy or very angry.
If we lose, the last thing I want to see is a video of the Dallas Cowboys locker room celebrating after we lose. That would be the worst video I could possibly see.
So
and for that reason, and I think Chase Young, a Washington native, agrees. And for that reason, we're going Washington football.
He had it waiting. All right.
I had it waiting. I had it ready.
He had it waiting.
Washington football team.
So one thing I'm going to do here is we're going to do the playoff machine again to end the episode to see what
with our picks.
Yeah, to see what each of our standings or final playoff things would look like.
Did I say the Bills?
You did say the Bills. So we have, let me share my screen.
Let's go.
I tried to get Dave Gee on here again, and he's out.
He's a busy man, okay?
He's at an anniversary dinner with his girlfriend. So
There you go.
So we'll do mine first because I remember all my picks, and I'm gonna have to go back and ask for yours. Though I could just switch tabs. It'd be that easy.
Could do that.
Buffalo,
Don't let that stop you.
Jets, Ravens, Browns, Cowboys, Minnesota, Tampa, Houston, Indy, Vegas, Chargers, Packers, Saints, Cardinals, Seahawks, and Philly. So that would leave in the AFC, Chiefs would get the first round bye. It would be 2-seeded Buffalo rematching 7-seeded Tennessee.
Oh, that'll be a good game.
That would be a good
I
game.
would love that game because then we could get our revenge on Tennessee. 3rd-seeded Pittsburgh would play Cleveland in back-to-back weeks. And 5th-seeded Baltimore would play the AFC South champion Colts.
Oh, a little
Both
Baltimore.
Rivers.
Baltimore
It'd be
versus
the-
old Baltimore.
It'd be the Phillip Rivers Lamar Jackson game. So
Or it
if,
could be the
And-
Baltimore revenge game.
so if I go,
Yes.
if all the picks that need for this scenario to go right happen, you're welcome, Tom.
That would be some good scenarios, except for the NFC side.
Yeah.
Less good
so,
scenarios.
so Green Bay would get the bye. New Orleans would play 7th-seeded Rams. Seattle would play 3rd-seeded Seattle will play 6th-seeded Arizona, and I feel like Dallas would get rolled. So I'm gonna hide
Likely.
this pick.
Wait, who doesn't get in on the AFC side?
What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
Found it. What did you say, Tom or Adam?
Oh, well, I said
Who misses the cut on the AFC? Who's the
On the
first
AFC
down?
in Miami.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we'll refresh the page and do Adam's picks next. So Adam picked the Dolphins.
Yep.
That's New England.
New England.
Baltimore.
Ravens, Browns, Cowboys,
He picked Minnesota.
Vikings, Bucks. Yep. Colts. Yep. Chargers, Packers, Saints, Rams, Seahawks, Eagles.
So Adam,
What happens if we tie?
what do you mean?
If the Washington football team and the Eagles tie? Just hit me with a tie real quick. See what happens.
Dallas.
Interesting. Okay, Eagles.
I think if Dallas and New York ties, we make it no matter what.
Oh, that would be sick. That would be so sick.
No.
Oh, really?
Dallas gets in with a tie. Now, what if you both tied?
Yes.
Oh, let's go for that.
So,
Hopefully that happens.
so Adams would be AFC, Buffalo, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, which would be a very good game, and Tennessee, Miami. Adams NFC would be New Orleans, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles, and Dallas, Tampa. Now, Tom, you're going to have to read your picks back to me so we can do this quickly. Buffalo, New England, Baltimore, Cleveland,
Yes. I think I said New York.
Giants,
Vikings,
Tampa, Tennessee.
Titans. Yep.
He picked the.
Colts.
You picked the Chiefs, Tom?
Yes.
That one doesn't really matter.
Green Bay. I picked the Saints. I picked the Cardinals. I picked Seahawks.
So Tom's AFC would be Buffalo, the top seed, or Buffalo, the 2nd seed, playing Indy, Pittsburgh, Cleveland rematch, Tennessee, Baltimore rematch. That was a really good game.
Yeah. That was OT, right? With Derrick Henry
Yep.
for
Yep.
the win.
Yep. And Washington, and the only difference between his and Adams, or no, his and mine, is that Washington would be the 4 instead of Tampa.
Tampa would probably crush us. But I have hope. Getting to the playoffs would be a huge victory for this season. And I'll take it. I would take the victory.
Let's see.
I'm. That's all I could say is that it would be a huge victory to get in the playoffs.
All right. So with that, we have our Week 17 Orange Pod Sports show. Next week, we will pick the playoff games. and we'll start the home stretch of the picks. Hope you all have a very happy New Year. And
You too, man.
we will see you next week.
Happy New Year.
See ya.